Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series Ready to Love Season 6 Reunion Episode number 2.
And today we will be focusing on Paul, P.O. But first we want to ask you if you could subscribe, like, share, and please send in your comments. You guys have been fast and furious with comments.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Because we appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So we begin with Paul on the hot seat, and Tommy asked him that he had a connection with Tina. He said yes, but in the moment he said but, Tina chirped in and said that he was lying, that he tried to separate her from the pack. He encouraged her to self-eliminate, and that he would get with her and, take care of her, so to speak.
Yeah, and she was adamant when she first came on the show about being interested in older guys.
Men, right.
Older guys. And she kind of thought that Paul would be out of the men that part of the selection process.
We all thought that Paul was a sugar daddy.
Right, and that was what she was looking for because she had a daughter and she had just gotten out of a relationship, I guess, with a younger guy,
right.
and she was looking for...
And she didn't care too much for Wiley when he tried to get with her.
So I thought from the beginning that Paul might be the kind of guy that she was interested in and might be a good fit for her, but... Hell, if that was, I was right about that.
Well, Paul was embarrassed immediately. He said, no, that's not true. And that she further went in. She said he was on the show for the wrong reasons, that he was trying to promote some sort of book.
Yeah, I don't understand what that was about. That was something that I clearly didn't have information on or what have you. I guess that was back channel story.
Yeah, Paul was saying that now that he's a music producer, when Tommy asked him whether he was indeed writing a book, he sidestepped that story and said that he was a music producer. And as far as we know, Paul was introduced to us. He said that he...
Software systems analyst or something like that?
Something like that, he said. Yeah. So we don't know when he became a music producer, or if that was a side job, that a side hustle he had.
Right.
Who knows?
Right. I didn't realize that he was into the music industry and all that. Maybe I'm sure I missed something along the way. Maybe
we all missed it. This is the first time we hear that he's producing music. And secondly, Tina, she went in further. She said that his old ass. And then she brought Viagra into the conversation. And to my mind, why you gotta bring up the little blue pill? The little blue pill didn't do anything to her. And why is she discussing the little blue pill as it relates to Paul? Does she know something we don't know?
Clearly, but I don't know whether she's embellishing or
she was just upset. She clearly wanted to go in on him, and Tommy had to shut that down.
Yeah, it was just a bad move, I think, on her part, because she's got her own issues to answer for. Absolutely. And we'll get into those later on.
Absolutely.
But, as far as I'm concerned, she got to keep that kind of low right now, to going in on part of it.
Right. And then we see Paul apologizing to Precious for how he spoke to her when he was potentially going to be eliminated, and Precious was chosen to give him that message. He wasn't sent home, but Paul got indignant with her and said that he was, a juggernaut or something?
Yeah, he was a juggernaut, and that if a woman couldn't deal with the truth, then that was her issue.
Right, he was going to bring it raw.
Right, he was going to bring it raw, and
that's who he is.
Right, and if that was not to be handled on Precious' part, or any other woman for that matter who was on the receiving end, that was their issue.
Right.
So, as far as I'm concerned, I think he was... maybe taking a preemptive measure because of what he sensed might happen. And even though it didn't happen, I think that he kind of mishandled that.
He absolutely did, and I appreciated him apologizing to Precious.
Yeah, at least he owned up to that.
Right, and Precious was honest enough to say she hears what he's saying, but she's not in the place to accept his apology then and there, but who knows what will happen in the future.
And that was an honest take on her
Absolutely.
part. And I can't fault her for that at all. I respect that.
Yes.
And I think anybody else reasonably speaking or thinking about the situation would say the same.
Right. And then Tommy also brought up the connection that Paul had with Carmen.
Yep.
And we all know what happened with that situation. Carmen too had a side story about Paul not being sexually attracted to Dakia.
Right.
And he shut that down again. He told Carmen she was a liar.
Yes.
And that he never said that. In this edition of that conversation,
he said,
she
BS,
said.
right.
His words are not as hard. He's saying that her interpretation of their conversation may have led her to believe that he was not sexually attracted to Dakia, but that's not what he said.
And apparently Carmen was in a state of confusion about what he actually did say.
She was confused.
Right. He did use the word confusion.
Right. So now we have quite a few incidents where Paul does have some questionable situations going on with three females.
I'll tell you one thing, my ass was confused about trying to navigate my way through all this foolishness.
And finally, when Paul was asked, okay, well, how are you doing? Are you dating? Because he indicated that he and Dakia went out after the cameras were turned off, but they still didn't have a connection and preferred to remain friends.
Absolutely.
And Paul's response was that he had a dime shorty.
Yeah, dime piece shorty, something like that. I don't know what the hell that means, but I do know that he has obviously found somebody, according to him, that he's happy with right now.
Is that a slang? Because, I'm a transplant. Is dime shorty a slang? I've never heard it before.
I would think so.
Sounds like something you get out of the book of pimps.
Well, the only thing
a dime shorty? What the?
I don't know anything about the pimp game other than how you maybe walking something when you're trying to make an impression. That's all I know about pimping. Anything
why
else,
did
I don't
he just say that he's now dating an attractive woman?
I have no clue. And as old as Paul is in terms of his chronological age, that's how I would think that he would kind of convey that sentiment to somebody else who's asking him about it.
But a dime shorty, the language itself seems like, it's like something out of the Players Club.
Yeah, I would think so too. But do me a favor, y'all. Why don't y'all let us know what y'all think about that one? Explain
and what exactly is a dime shorty? Right. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this is all we have on Pimp. Did I say pimp? I mean Paul. Golly, Paul. And we'll see you in the next bit. Thank you for watching.
I can't dig you out of this one.
Bye.
Bye.